Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Brand new day in the gym today. And man, are we feeling everything? We're feeling tired. We're feeling sore. We're feeling a little bit demotivated because we're tired and sore. But that's sometimes what just happens in the gym. You get tired, you get sore. And it could be because you're really kicking butt and you're doing amazing things in the gym. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're not feeding yourself enough. But it really begs the age-old question. Am I really working hard enough when I'm in the gym? Am I just spinning my wheels? Am I actually getting in a good, effective workout? And if so, how do I know? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about what it means to do hard work. What does that look like? What does it feel like? What contributes to it? All of these questions that people have sometimes when they're starting out in the gym, or even when they've been doing it for years and they feel like they're stalling or they're not able to make progress on a certain muscle group. Maybe one lags behind. Maybe you can't get the pump you want on your back as compared to your chest or your legs. It can be really hard to know whether or not you're actually working out effectively, hard enough. And we're not talking about science-based lifting versus bro science, none of that stuff. When you're alone, it really comes down to just you. There's nobody else there to help gauge whether or not you're putting in work. If you're working out alone in your own home gym, well, you truly are doing it just for yourself. There's nobody else to be showing off for, unless you've got some silly YouTube channel where you work out in front of a bunch of strangers on the internet. But the work has to be done, and you know that. And you get out there, you bring your butt out to that gym, out to that garage, out to that basement every day, every other day, every week, and you put in the time. And you're wondering, am I putting in the effort? Are you really working hard enough? You've got more in the tank, don't you? Can you lift more weight? Can you do more reps? Can your form be better? These are all questions we all have, whether it's every single workout or whether it's 1 in 10, whether it's once a month or once a day. We all question these things, especially if we take it seriously. And again, it can be truly hard to know whether or not you're getting everything you can out of the work and the time that you're putting in by going and exercising. The unique thing about working hard is that it's really up to the individual. There's nobody who can tell you whether or not you put in the maximum amount of effort that you have. And we've got tools to help us either get a little bit better or push a little bit more every week, or estimate whether or not we're actually putting in that work. Perhaps you're following a progressive overload plan where every week you're going to be adding a couple extra reps or a little bit of extra weight. If you're doing that, well, then you know week by week you can track whether or not you're making increases. It might not be every single week. Maybe one week you go up 10 pounds, the next week you have to drop 5. But if you keep on that pattern, you'll notice over time that that weight's obviously going up. Or there's tools like RPE, rate of perceived exertion. That could be a good way to gauge how much more you had in the tank. You can look at it on a scale of 1 to 10 plus. 10 being I had no reps left in the tank, no good reps with good form where I didn't sacrifice on that form. 9, you'd have 1 left in the tank. 8, 2 left in the tank with that picture perfect form. Now we say the plus because you could do some extra reps there. Maybe you're doing myo reps, or maybe you're just trying to do some cheat reps at the end of that set. So sometimes what I'll write is I'll say I did my 8, 12, 15, 20 reps, whatever it was, with an RPE 10 form, but then I'll write plus 4, plus 5, whatever it might be, for the extra reps that I did there at the end. And that was all I had in the tank. 4 extra reps with not the best form. Cheat reps do have a place, people, but if every set's looking like that, sloppy, inconsistent, well, those reps maybe you should be working on. Maybe you really need to lower that weight a little bit and perfect that form. But that doesn't mean you're not putting in hard work. Everything can always be refined. We can always get better, more consistent, lift more weight, control that weight a little bit better than we did the last time we did it. But isn't that what life's about? Always getting better every day. And again, nobody can tell you but you how hard you just worked. Now, a training partner might be able to help coach you along. There is certainly that unconscious help that comes from having somebody spot you, having somebody work out with you, push you along. And maybe that enables you to lift more on a regular basis, do more, feel more accomplished. That's fantastic. And personally, I love that feeling. I love having my friends here in the gym with me, lifting with me, even if they're doing totally separate workouts. The camaraderie that can come from that and the pushing each other, the pumping of each other up, that's the best. Those workouts truly can be some of the best. But today, what we're really talking about is when we're working out alone. And I don't mean literally alone, like you have your own gym in your backyard like I do, and I'm literally alone in this building. You could be in a big commercial space with 10, 20, 30 other people working out around you and still be working out alone. In those moments, how do you know whether or not you're truly getting all the effort that you possibly can out of these workouts? Well, for better or worse, it kind of just comes down to knowing your body. You see, over time when you're in the gym, you gradually learn what works, what doesn't work, what feels good, what doesn't feel as good, and also what workouts are going to give you the best training that's most applicable to the goals that you're chasing down. There's going to be certain exercises that just don't work for you, and maybe they work better for other people. And the vice versa is also going to be true. There are going to be things that you do that other people are just not going to be able to get the same kind of work out of. Because we're all unique people. We're all individuals who have different needs, who have different body makeups and chemistries. It's unfortunate, but there truly is no one size fits all. There's a lot of things that we can lump people into general boxes with. Rep ranges, set ranges, workout programs that can be arranged to work out certain muscles in certain orders, in certain groups. But you'll never be able to do exactly what somebody else does to achieve the same results. So you have to check in with yourself. You have to be asking yourself constantly, how am I feeling? Am I tired? Am I eating enough? Am I working out just too much? These are all things we have to consider all the time. But there's also the reality that sometimes our body just needs an actual overall break. We've gone too hard for too long. We've been putting in some damn good effort, some real hard work, but our body needs a break. Our mind needs a break. So we've got to take those deload weeks from time to time. And the only way you're ever going to know is if you're regularly checking in with yourself, truly asking yourself, how did that feel? How do I feel the next day and the day after, a week later even? It's okay if you're feeling sore for 2 or 3 days after a workout, especially when you're first starting. You might be sore for a good week after some of these workouts. It's okay. Get your protein, get your rest, but keep going to the gym. Your body will adjust, and the period of time that those DOMs set in for will lessen. With a little luck, they'll never go away completely, and you'll grow to enjoy that. That feeling that tells you that you did some hard work, some real good work. But here's a secret. If you do a leg day and you've got DOMs for a couple days, and then you go into the next leg day with those DOMs still present, and you try to do the same work effort and try to get it in the same volume, you might risk hurting yourself. Or at the very least, you're going to delay those muscles fully recovering so that you can continue on that path of growth, of gains, and of progress. So maybe if you're still sore on that second leg day, tone it down just a little bit. Maybe cut out 1 set, maybe 2. It's your body. You're going to have to feel out exactly what you need. Maybe you don't actually need to cut out any at all. Again, there's no one size fits all to this, people. How one body responds compared to the other is going to be completely different. So these pieces of advice I'm giving you are just that. Pieces of advice, not hard and fast rules. Because no one knows everything, and no one knows your body better than you, as long as you're listening. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that's helpful. I really do. I wish more often than not there was a solid answer where I could tell you that 2 + 2 = 4. But it just doesn't work that way in the gym, unfortunately. there are very few things in the gym that are hard and fast true for everybody about everybody. And your work, the amount of effort you're putting in, and how you can gauge that is completely up to you. You've got to determine that. You've got to study yourself, pay attention to yourself, and most importantly, listen to yourself. But you can use tools like RPE, rate of perceived exertion, to just gauge on a workout by workout basis, on a lift by lift basis, how you're feeling. If you have any other questions or any other conflicting bits of information that are just confusing you, drop it down in the comments below. I'd love to discuss that with you, educate myself as much as possible, but also impart the knowledge that I've gained over this decade plus in my lifting journey. I love interacting with you guys. I love seeing the comments. We're putting out a lot more content on Instagram and TikTok these days, so make sure you check the description for all of my links and give those a follow to stay up to date on everything Iron Clinic. In the meantime, though, keep working, keep grinding, keep getting out there and doing it, chasing down that ideal version of yourself and getting a little bit better every single day. I'll see you guys next time.